Hello everyone, my name's Dean, let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 30th, 2022. It's almost the end of 2022. Although that's true, the charts are saying that we may get one final blast off hurrah pump before the year is up. Okay, if that excites you, then watch until the very end. My friends, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, then you are a different breed. You are a champion. You are one of a kind. Most people exposed, or that were hitherto exposed to crypto in 2022 have since left. Okay, it's been a very challenging market. It's been very grueling. It's been characterized mostly by sideways price action, okay? If you're paying attention, it's not downwards price action, but sideways price action. This is what annoys people the most. I always say, even more than a drawdown, people hate indecision. People hate up and down price action, okay? Because you don't know what to do with it. At least if it's a drawdown, it's a clear drawdown, you stop investing, you stop trying to be exposed, or you short it. It's clear. People love impulses, up or down, because it's clear. They know exactly what's happening. People hate sideways price action because you never really know. Okay? And we always say this on this channel, trying to read consolidations, trying to read sideways price action, whether it's AB basis or intra-wave consolidation. That's some of the most challenging work in chart analysis, in speculation. And so that is why really is something left to the professionals, something left to those most serious, because it also takes the most patience to deal with. You can't be impatient and invest or even plan in a sideways market. People hate it. Okay, so if you're still here, you're one of the few, whether you're a pro trader, amateur, whatever. If you're still here, you're one of the few, and you're likely to win. Because what happens after something like this? When you go sideways, 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 up and down, you typically get a big move, okay? Obviously, you can also get a big move down. But if you've been following this work, my channel, you understand that probabilistically, it's more likely than not that the big move that we get resulting from all of this sideways accumulation is up. And actually, let me tell you something. Based off, let's just segue into this right now. Based off of what the DXY is doing, okay? Excuse me. The US dollar currency index, our main indicator. Based off of what it's doing and what it's done, we should even more so expect a pump, not just in Bitcoin, but in stocks and all risk-on assets, but especially in Bitcoin. Because, as we've said on the channel, if you've been paying attention for the past 3 months, yes, 3 months, you can see that the DXY has been in a steady downtrend, okay? But for the past 3 months in Bitcoin, which is supposedly inversely correlated to the DXY, US dollar currency index. For the past 3 months in Bitcoin, we've also been going down pretty much. Down and sideways, okay? Not necessarily down, but a little bit down and mostly sideways, okay? What does that mean? That means that crypto is so undervalued that it's more likely than not that the resulting move up, now let's go back to our crypto, the resulting move up is going to be more violent than ever. And it's not because of anything else. It's simply just a reversion to the mean, right? It's you're so far off the balance. You're so undervalued. You're so oversold, right? And we can really illustrate that using our momentum indicator on the high time frame. Look at that. Your stochastic RSI. This is Bitcoin against the US dollar on the monthly time frame. The stochastic RSI is all the way down here. It's never been this oversold for this long. Okay? So many different indicators, so many different metrics are saying the same thing. Excuse me. Bitcoin and most cryptocurrencies have never been this oversold for this long. Meaning, when it does rebound, expect that rebound to be epic. Okay, that reversion to the mean to be epic. So a lot of people are like, well, my trading strategy is I'm not going to do anything until it actually moves. I'm not saying it'll be too late or that you won't have any opportunities. There's always some opportunity. But people who don't get the message soon enough will miss that opportunity. Because these moves are going to happen faster than people think. Okay? According to my work, if you've studied this channel, if you watch this channel, if you study, or not study, but if you follow my work, I have a projected top to this next bull run at and around late February, early March of 2023. That's 2 to 3 months of positive price action, of bullish price action, of a bull market. Okay, I may be wrong, but that's my estimate based off of my Elliott wave analysis on the high time frames. Okay, I'm not going to go into it now. That's beyond the scope of this analysis. But all I'm saying is, if that ends up to being true, most people are going to miss this. All right, just as you and I. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you're probably paying attention on a daily basis. You're paying attention. This is the key. You're paying attention to what's going on in the charts, okay? You know that we've been at this 16,500 level for about a month, okay? More than a month, rather. A month and a half. You know about these bullish divergences, right? On the daily time frame. You know about all of this stuff. You know that this level is likely a support level, okay? And why? You know all that stuff. And so you're probably already exposed to the market. You probably already have some chips on the table, okay? You see all the people making fun of you on crypto Twitter, saying, oh my God, these people, they've been bullish for all this time, and look at the price, blah, blah, blah. What they don't realize is in a matter of days, we will erase months worth of downwards price action because we've been down for years. Again, in a matter of days, we may erase months worth of downwards price action. When the price actually starts moving, these people won't have enough time to invest the capital they want to invest. That's the name of the game. That's the trick. People think that, oh, it's simple. Why are people even bothering trying to accumulate when the market hasn't decided yet, right? People say that a lot. I know how to trade. It's quite simple. Wait until it moves, and then you invest. Well, when it starts moving, it's not that it's too late, but trying to invest the amount that you want to invest in the way you want to invest it may not be possible. Because the price gets so volatile, moves so quickly, and it's at levels where, one, onboarding all of that, it's tough to onboard capital onto crypto exchanges, right? Serious capital if you want to make serious investments. Two, you have to catch these entries. You literally sometimes may not be able to catch the entry, okay? This is why we accumulate on support. This is why we actually risk going into the red. We risk buying and getting drawn down on, because when it does turn, that is already in. The orders are already in. They're already set. You know, all of that stuff. I understand you can set limit orders, but again, there is no guarantee that your limit orders are going to be filled. Okay? This is all trading techniques. This is all trading strategy. You do as you see fit, but I'm just explaining the rationale. If you want to invest tens of thousands of dollars in the market, a lot of people that are really into crypto, a lot of people that are that really want to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, I'm looking for the word. A lot of crypto enthusiasts, like really, really enthusiastic people, want to invest, you know, thousands of dollars. You can't just in one day invest thousands of dollars. Obviously, when it starts moving, sure. But again, what kind of entries are you going to get? How are you going to get those entries? Okay. I know this is all theoretical and stuff like that. Let's look at some examples. So again, Bitcoin. Why are we saying we may end 2022 with a bang, with a massive pump? Again, because look at this support level designated by this blue box, okay? This support level has been our support for this entire period of time, right? This month and a half. We've been at this level, okay? We popped up and we came back down to test this level, did some consolidation reversal, and we still have yet to break this level right here. That is a really good sign. Also, if you look at our stochastic RSI momentum indicator, we're all the way oversold. We are printing bullish divergence, actually just confirmed strong bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Really, really positive sign. Okay? So yeah, I would not be surprised if that next move was a big move. And again, given our targets for 2023, I would not look at small time frame targets and say, oh, you know, we're going to have some resistance here and resistance there. When the trend changes, you won't be able to catch it. And it's going to be really tough to trade. Let's say that. If the trend changes, and when it does change, let's say when it does change, because it's not if, it's when, it's going to be tough to catch. And it's not going to be like, oh, it's just going to hang out at 20K for like 5 weeks and then go. No. It's just going to go while people are sleeping, while people are waking. Like, we don't shut off like traditional markets, right? Take weekends off and stuff like that. It's a 24/7 market. And actually, now, if you look at the DXY and its breakdown, okay, and this is also giving us more of an understanding of what's likely to happen, that head and shoulders that we've been tracking, sorry, it's more like this, or is it? Yeah, it's more like this. This head and shoulders has broken down right here, and it's breaking down. It's currently breaking down. It's once it breaks down, then I think what happens in the cryptocurrency market is just the literal trigger that sets the bull market, that initiates the bull market in general, okay? Some are going to already have started. Some are going to wait for that trigger. It's already broken down, but when it really starts to go and fall from this support level, which it's currently losing slowly, then that trigger goes off. We no longer, I don't believe we'll any longer have to track the DXY to see if crypto moves. It's just going to have a mind of its own because it will have been triggered enough significantly to the upside. That's my read on it, okay? But this is a really good sign. Just looking at the DXY, it's a really good sign if you're bullish on crypto because this has been breaking down quite convincingly, okay, from this support. And look, at the end of the day, this is a rising wedge. Sorry, let's go on a smaller time frame. You can look at this as a rising wedge, breakdown, another rising wedge, breakdown, another rising wedge, breakdown. That's exactly what you see in downtrending markets. It's a series of breakdowns, You continually think, oh, we're going to find support, It keeps gently trying to regain and then lose it. And every time it tries to regain, it does these rising wedges. Do you see? I hope you guys see that. Expect another one right here. A small rising wedge, and then a breakdown. And then until it gets to a level where there's enough there's enough of a gap in orders where it just falls like significantly, like a wave 3 of an Elliott wave impulse. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing in the DXY. It's very promising. Yesterday we were all the way up here, right? And we're talking about how we're likely to lose this level. We keep losing levels. Very promising, right? And so as the DXY is slowly losing support, slowly breaking down, okay, Bitcoin is slowly breaking out. Crypto is slowly breaking out, okay? And again, if this indeed is the bull run, the start of the bull run, what you're going to see, I've said this before, what you're going to see is altcoins leading the charge. Bitcoin is going to be one of the last assets to move. And even on our small watch list, okay, all of the assets that I'm currently invested in, you can see that. What do you see? You see Dent up by 7%, okay? That's basically showing you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go on a smaller time frame. So Dent has gone up from here, okay? It put in this corrective pattern yesterday. Did some AB basing here, and it broke out just today, okay? Just a few moments ago, actually. And that is, in my estimation, the beginning of its bull run, okay? And what it just put in seems very likely, let's go on an even smaller time frame, to be the first impulse of its bull run, okay? 5 waves up, 3 waves down. And so this is what I'm talking about. Like, you're going to see more and more of this in altcoins, okay? And you're going to see it later on in Bitcoin. Altcoins will lead the charge, okay? And to hammer that point home, what you can do is you can see this quite clearly in a chart. What chart? The Bitcoin dominance chart, okay? What you're going to see is Bitcoin dominance breaking down, right? And as you can see, Bitcoin dominance is at resistance. And this resistance has been resistance for quite some time. This 42 level on this chart, actually, it's 42. Okay? But you can see that. Here, rising wedge, breakdown. Back to the scene of the crime. Back to this resistance, consolidation, reversal, breakdown. That breakdown is exactly what I'm talking about when I say, if we do initiate a bull run, it will be first in the altcoins. You will see the altcoins gain dominance market share as opposed to Bitcoin, right? Against Bitcoin, that's what I mean. Yep, against Bitcoin. So this Bitcoin dominance is going to fall. You look at our momentum indicators on the high time frame, the 4-hourly time frame, we're overbought, right? The daily time frame, we are oversold, but we're coming back up, okay? And we're coming back up. We're not making many moves, right? So this is kind of one of those rallies that's going to fail, okay? Let's see, on the weekly time frame, completely overbought. Monthly time frame, completely overbought. So you can kind of see on the high time frames, the story in Bitcoin dominance is that you're overbought. It's reached the highest point it could possibly reach, right? You look on the monthly time frame, you look at Bitcoin versus the US dollar, the monthly time frame, that momentum indicator's all the way on the floor. It's been on the floor forever. Okay? It's opposite for Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is really high, right, on the monthly time frame. It's really high on the weekly time frame. It's, relatively high on the daily time frame. On the 4-hourly time frame, it's high. So you can expect it to come down. And as it comes down, basically altcoins like DENT will continue to go up in value, gain market share. That's why they call it alt season, okay? And so this is what we can expect to see. And if you go into other watch lists, right, that aren't necessarily our small watch lists of assets that we've invested in, you can see something similar, right? Happy, this is one asset, up 21%. Convergence, up 10%, and so on and so forth. It's just getting started, okay? And all the while, Bitcoin is still kind of treading water, okay? It's about to break out, but it's treading water. It's not up significantly yet, okay? So this is what I'm saying. This has been very challenging, okay? Very challenging. Again, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you're a trooper. Most people aren't watching YouTube videos about crypto right now on December 30th of 2022. 2022 has, without a doubt, kicked most people's asses. If you've been trading, if you've been investing, doesn't matter if it's spot or if it's been on leverage or margin, you've probably gotten frustrated. You've probably lost some money. You're just, I personally ask myself, like, am I wrong? Is my high time frame analysis bogus? Is this not going to move? Are people correct? Is Bitcoin actually going to go to 8,000 or 10,000 or whatever they say, right? Because it should have moved by now, right? It's just taken its time. But what the charts are showing is that, yes, it is moving. It's taken its time, but this looks like it's actually happening. The DXY actually looks like it's breaking down, okay? So it's taken its time, but, better late than never. Even if it's on the last day or the last 2 days of the calendar year. I do expect, having said all that, for 2023 to be massive, okay? Especially the beginning few months of 2023. It's going to be massive for Bitcoin. It's going to be massive for crypto. Okay? Can definitely expect some big moves. And, the name of the game is, are you exposed? Are you invested? Will you be able to take advantage of these big moves that are going to happen so much quicker than most people even understand and can wrap their minds around, okay? So that's basically been the name of the game. We've been trying to invest and protect against downside. Invest and protect against downside, okay? Because the market, it's going to consolidate in an unpredictable way. In a way that maybe we're not exactly sure how these sideways moves are going to happen. But by and large, on the high time frame, we know once it finishes its sideways price action, it's going to turn. It's going to change the larger trend. Okay? But exactly how low it's going to go, all that stuff, trying to read the 2 degrees of 80 basing in a pivot, very challenging. Very challenging, okay? I mean, I always say on this channel, it's harder to read these 2 degrees of AB bases in a pivot. These AB bases, consolidation reversal channels, these consolidation reversal patterns as they form. But you can try, and that doesn't hurt because it gives you a little bit of perspective. For instance, if you read this as your initial A wave and this as your initial B wave, that's your first degree. You can read then this as your second degree, okay? And then all of this would be your pivot, So that's your first degree, that's your second degree, and that's your pivot. That's my best read on it. That wasn't my read a few days ago because I didn't see it like this. Okay? Does that make my analysis bogus? No, because I've been saying that this entire thing was not a redistribution or a distribution pattern or an intra-wave correction that basically where the trend would continue down. I've been saying that this is a consolidation reversal. I'm not exactly sure how to read it, but in some way, shape, or form, we should be able to see 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot. Basically, sideways accumulation and a move. Okay? And that this, on a higher time frame, was the absolute bottom of the bear market accumulation for Bitcoin. Okay? It looks bad, but all of this is some sort of bear market accumulation that results in a positive move to the upside eventually. Okay? So I don't expect, and I just don't see us breaking this channel to the downside, making lower lows, because since we got into this channel, right, in June, it's been sideways consolidation. I know it looks bad. I know some people think, who don't really look at the charts, just look at the price and say, well, it's just been down. No. That was down. This is technically sideways. And this is when we accumulate. And that's been our thesis on this channel. Do what you may, do what you can to accumulate your positions in this sideways accumulation channel, right? In not just Bitcoin, obviously, but in the rest of the cryptocurrency market. And thus far, this has taken, in Bitcoin, about 195 days, approximately 200 days. And it's taken even longer in a lot of altcoins. That's patience. That's the kind of patience that is required to trade at a high level. People say, oh man, you gotta have like 3 heads and you have to know all this stuff to be a trader. Most of what is required to be a good trader is discipline, patience, obviously some knowledge, some perspective, persistence. You gotta show up every day. You gotta read the market. Obviously, you can't be Pollyannish and lie to yourself, right? If you're breaking channels to the downside and you're bullish, then you have to acknowledge that. But at the same time, if your sideways channel of accumulation just keeps going sideways, well, let's then try to read it and see if your general trading thesis has not been invalidated, then it's probably still correct until proven otherwise, right? What do you see with Ethereum? Same thing. 200 days of sideways price action. It's been very, very challenging. The most challenging thing about all of this is the fact that you have to wait for 200 days for it to go sideways to determine something. Because, right, remember, people are in the market to make money. So a lot of people like these big moves where they can either long or short, okay? They know what's going on. When it's going sideways, it literally drives them crazy. So this sideways accumulation for 200 days, this is why the morale is so low. This is why sentiment is so low, even though price has literally, technically, not done anything for 200 days. It's been sideways. No conclusive up or down price action. Look at Litecoin. Sideways for 200 days, okay? Sideways. Actually, it's a little more for Litecoin. A little more than 200 days. Here you can see 230 days, okay? Most altcoins, about 230 days, okay? But 200 or so days of sideways price action. Again, read the charts. Look at the charts. It's been sideways. People will tell you we've been going down for 200 days because it feels like we've been going down for 200 days because it feels hopeless. It feels useless. They feel defeated. So their morale has been going down for 200 days. Because after the drawdown, which was an actual drawdown, okay, price actually going down, they felt like, okay, now that's over. Now let's change to up. But for 200 plus days, they've been going sideways. That kills their morale. So when they're telling you the price has been going down for 200 days, substitute price by morale. Okay? And in this up and down price action, a lot of people lost a lot of positions trying to guess at when that breakout would be. That's why this is so complicated, so difficult, so challenging, right? Look at this. Algorand. Very challenging. Very challenging. Okay? This is one of those cases where you really actually have to zoom out even more than 200 days. You have to zoom out for a few years before making sense of this chart, because this chart has been corrective. It's in a larger channel. Forget a 200-day channel. You're looking at a channel that's lasted about 1,200 days. Almost 4 years of up and down price action. And now you're at the bottom of the channel once again, looking to make a move up. This is really cool. But guess what? If you've been invested in Algorand since 2019, you're probably pulling your hair out. This is the definition of patience. This is the definition of annoying, of tediousness. Up and down for 4 years? That is infuriating. That's mind-numbing. But that's what the chart shows us. This is why it's very important to chart, even if you're not an expert chartist. Look at it. Don't listen to what people say. Look at it. What is the price telling you? It's Algorand saying we've been in correction. We've been in correction ever since. We've never, ever been impulsive. This is all corrective. And so, once this changes, perhaps it changes into impulse, or maybe this correction continues. Likely to change into impulse. But you never know. But that's all that this shows, right? Cardano. This is not a good chart. Let's just pull up a better chart for Cardano, since we're doing high time frame reads. I think this one. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Yeah, look. I mean, and I showed this yesterday, I believe. But the high time frame read is what you need to do. People are really despondent and saying, oh, this is just going down forever. Actually, before it was going down, it went up quite a lot. And if you actually look at the chart, it hasn't even come down to the phi ratio of the rise, the 5-wave rise, the meteoric rise from a penny. It's come all the way up. And then it came down much less than it went up. Again, put everything in perspective. Go on the high time frames. I recommend. If you're not like an expert chartist, if you're looking to invest, go on the high time frames. Look at what the price did. The price went up by a lot. It came down by a little bit, by less. That's bullish. That's bullish. Because if this is an impulse, this is a counter, right? A 3-wave counter. It's likely that whenever you do find some support, okay, between the 382 and the 618, where these wave 2s are tend to find support, you're going to go back up by even more than you went up in wave 1, right? Zoom out, keep it simple. Okay? You can even measure the time, relatively speaking. So if it took you 430 days to go up, and thus far, you went down for, okay, altogether, 590 days, you've been going down for quite a long time. Yeah, I think that's a good read of it. This could be corrective as well. Remember, you could be looking at a 5-wave move up and a 3-wave move down, zigzag. Okay, you could be looking at a zigzag. But then, the only thing that I don't like about that is that you haven't hit the 0.5, and we know that zigzags retrace to a minimum of 0.5, right? So, it's more likely than not that this is an impulsive move, this is a corrective move, and that somewhere here you have a consolidation reversal. Okay? You have your 3-wave move down. My best read on Cardano is this. Okay? This is a 5-wave move up. This is a 3-wave move down. Somewhere it ends, and you get some sort of slanted consolidation reversal channel, which should take you into the next phase of the asset. Okay, so just zooming in real quick, I will just check to see what this is. See, this is a trick here, and this is tricky. Don't get me wrong, this is super tricky. You would think that this is the start of your consolidation reversal, but it can't be. Why? Because if this is your A wave initial breakup structure, the 1618 or the phi ratio at 28.8 cents has been broken to the downside. So that tells you this, whatever this is, was intra-wave, probably a type of wave 4 correction. So what you're looking at more likely than not is this right here. Somewhere here you have wave 5. Okay? And so if you have wave 5 somewhere there, that means your consolidation reversal is probably down here. You have a tiny consolidation reversal channel. That's the most sense I can make from the Cardano chart. Very tricky. Very tricky. Not impossible, but, that's part of this whole thing. Sometimes it's tricky. So I would say I would start reading my consolidation reversal here. And I think this all is your pivot. Perhaps. Okay? Something like that. I don't know. It's tough. But, when in doubt, zoom out, look on the high time frames, look at what's happening or what's happened, try and make sense of it. People are really bearish about it because, it's been seemingly going down forever. But again, people's time frame, especially for investment in crypto, are short. People hear about crypto, they get excited. Maybe they heard about it a few days back, a few weeks back, a few months back, got into it, and nothing's happened for a few weeks, a few months. But a lot of times, depending on when you get in, it could take years before something materializes impulsively, right? Most of price action, remember, most of price action is consolidative, corrective. You don't spend that much time in the impulse. But the impulse is what everybody wants, what everybody looks for. The name of the game is to wait out the corrections, wait out the consolidations, so that you can experience the impulses. Okay? Same thing with Dogecoin. It's been tough, right? It's been a tough market. But what you can see is, since May, you do have a well-defined channel where you've been going sideways, 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 sideways. Not down, sideways. You've been going up and down in this channel, okay? And now it looks like you're finding some support at this level, okay? Looks like this was some sort of A wave, corrective break of structure, probably of the second degree. And you came back down here, and that this right here was your pivot, okay? 1 degree of AB basing. Let's see. Sorry. I would say this is 1 degree. So that's A, that's B. That's your second degree. And then that's your pivot right here. Okay? That's my best read on a high time frame. But all of that took 200 some odd days. Most people are not going to wait for a 200-day investment. Most people are not going to try and trade on a 200-day time frame. Do you understand? This is what separates those people who make it and those people who don't. Can you pay attention to something when it's not giving you what you think you want or what you expect for 200 to 300 days? Is anybody capable of that? And if you are, you're probably going to make it. That's as simple as it is. But that's not simple. You have to have conviction. Without my understanding of what I think the market's doing, I would have quit ages ago. I would have said, this is a scam. This is not happening. Nothing's happening. This is probably going to go to zero. That's what a lot of people are telling you because they're discouraged. Not because the charts are telling them. Sometimes some people have some weird read on the charts. But they're discouraged. So their analysis is discouraging. Okay? Dodo, same thing. Look at all this sideways. I mean, this is probably the best example of sideways, infuriatingly tedious price action. Look at that. If you've been in Dodo for 232 days, you've been going up and down in this channel. Not down, up and down. The channel's more or less orthogonal. It's more or less straight, okay? It's tilted a bit down and to the right, but it's more or less straight. But people will tell you it's been a bloodbath. Oh my God. Yeah, you know what is a bloodbath? Is people trading this and getting stopped out within this channel, right? Either trading it long or trading it short. That's what happens. Channels are noisy, and you always want to be outside of the bounds of the channel, okay? But, you know, people who are less patient have their stops here, their liquidations, you know, in the line of fire, so to speak. And so that's what happens. That's what gets bloody. So it's just volatile, sideways volatile. But nobody's actually making any money because very few people, if anybody, is trading all of this very capricious, very unpredictable corrective price action correctly. That's not the point. The point of this corrective price action is to accumulate, because you realize on a high time frame that this is an accumulation channel to change the trend from down to up. 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot. You can try to read it, right, as something like this. And then that's my pivot right there. So, degree 1, degree 2, pivot. That's my best read. But again, it's taken a long time. I've had this position open for hundreds of days. Okay? When it does play out, it's easily a 7 or 8 figure position. Okay? But it took 200 plus days to build. That's the kind of patience, that's the kind of discipline required to make those kinds of trades. I hope everybody gets that. It's not easy. And yes, it takes some skill, but it takes a little more discipline than it does take skill. XRP, the embattled XRP. Look at what it's been doing for the past 200 days, okay? That's not counting the sideways corrective price action that's happened throughout its history. But look at this. Up and down, not up, but up and down. Consolidative price action, corrective price action for 200 plus days drives people mad. Remember, a lot of this is market psychology, but it's not just about knowing what everybody's doing, going on crypto Twitter. Is everybody longing Solana or shorting Solana or whatever? No, it's looking at the chart. Why is everybody so mad? Why is everybody so negative? Why does everybody think it's going to go to zero? You see sideways price action, you answer your own question. You jump on the daily time frame, you can see how it's not been decisive. That's an opportunity for accumulation. That's an accumulation opportunity, my friends. All right? Between 35 cents and 50 cents. If you've been accumulating this asset, congratulations. It's likely to break out from this support level and yield a new bull market. Okay? So that's XRP. RSR, again, a massive channel lasting 200 some odd days. Okay? And essentially, this is one large A and B base. It's one large A-B base. And to see and understand the context of this, you'd have to zoom out, probably on the weekly, to see the rest of the price action. But that's how I read this. Okay? Same thing with synthetics. Do you see that, guys? It's not down. It's up and down. It's sideways. Everybody's worst enemy. Sideways price action on a high time frame. And Dent we already looked at. Guys, that's it. I think that we're getting this, okay? I think that we're going to get this move before 2023 comes. Why? Look at the DXY. That's why. The DXY is slowly but surely breaking down. So my strategy, as has been for the past 200 plus days, I'm positioned. My positions are set. I'm protecting against downside risk and all the volatility that you've seen, right? Massive volatility, right? Price going up and down, right? I'm trying to protect against volatility, making sure that my stops, my liquidation points are outside of the range that we're operating in, right? If this is a range, I want my stops, if I'm long, right? I want my stops, my liquidations out of the line of fire. And simply, I just have to wait. There's no crystal ball. There's no super secret answer. You can do all the analysis you want. But at the end of the day, you just have to wait for the move to play out. Okay? And if it's more likely than not that your move play out in one way, then that's what you're betting on and that's what you're waiting for. Okay? So that's pretty much it. I'm waiting for all of these to turn green. Debt has started to go. Okay? I'm waiting for synthetics to go. I'm waiting for reserve rights to go. I'm waiting for all of these to go, to turn green and break out to the upside and herald the new bull market that's going to go, according to my analysis, for a couple months to a few months into 2023. So that's pretty much it for me. Guys, I know you're weary. I know you're tired. You're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. Congratulate yourselves. You showed up. If you're listening to these words, especially towards the end of this video, you are something else. You're putting time and energy and effort into your own education, your edification to be a better trader, to be a better speculator, analyst. And you are going to make it as a result because, again, to succeed in these markets, it takes a combination of skill, a combination of persistence, patience, understanding, conviction. You have to be convinced. You have to know it's coming, or else why would you spend 300 days doing something over and over again if you're not going to get the desired result? You have to know somewhere deep inside that you're going to eventually get what you've been waiting for, okay? And to be convinced to that extent, you have to have some understanding. Nobody can like tell you that. After a while, you're going to be like, nah, I don't believe that, because that's what he said 100 days ago, or that's what he said 150 days ago. You're going to start like clicking off and unsubscribing and stuff like that. But you yourself have to see it in the charts and say, oh yeah, that's clear as day for me, right? A bounce of probability, more often than not. If I see this, then that happens. So I'm going to bet on that happening. That's how you win. So if you're here, it's because of your own efforts. It's because of your own work. And congratulations. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for the last video of the year. Take care.